Evening. Check. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we ask everyone to please settle into their seats so that we may begin tonight's program. Check. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hofstra Athletics Pride Club Golf Outing and Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony. My name is Siddiq Faruqi, and as always, it is my honor and privilege to be the MC of this great annual event. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to extend a special thank you to the C. Wayne Club, their staff, for all their assistance today and in the months and weeks leading up to the event. So a round of applause for the C. Wayne Club and their remarkable staff and for all their help putting this event together. We would also like to thank our major sponsors for the outing. Our title sponsor, Jose Rodriguez and Compass Group USA. Our platinum sponsor, the Commencement Group. Brunch sponsor, Mike Ryan and the Lantec Group. Our cart sponsors, Christopher Briller and Encore and Michael D. Domenico and Air Capture. Our cocktail sponsors, Christopher Hine and the Hine family and Jeff Fracaro and the Fracaro family. Our golfer gift sponsor, Tom McBrady and Liberty Coke. Our course sponsors, Steve Marsh, Bob McCloskey Insurance, James C. Metzger and the Whitmore Group, Wrestlers in Business New York Chapter, and Charles Balsamo and Unity Construction Group. A round of applause for all of our sponsors here today. We would also like to spend a special thank you to all of our hole and tee sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a special night. It is a special event. It is a celebration of excellence as we honor legends of Hofstra athletics that have excelled in their careers. They have set a standard of brilliance and have paved the way for current and future generations of Hofstra athletics. We begin the program by welcoming Hofstra University President Dr. Susan Poser to the podium. Dr. Poser has been an outstanding supporter of Hofstra athletics and has been a great leader of the university. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for President Poser.
I'll just do this. That's good. Well, good evening and welcome to the Hofstra University Hall of Fame induction dinner and ceremony. I hope you've all had your dinner. I want to give a very special welcome first to the members of the Hofstra Board of Trustees who are with us tonight, starting with Michael D. Domenico, Craig Dempster, our newest trustee, Stella Mendez, Marilyn Monter, Mike Roberge, Jason Savarese, Board Chair Donald Schaefer, and Joe Sparacchio, Chair of the Athletics Committee of the Board. Let's all welcome them here tonight. Now, some of the members of the board actually also played golf this afternoon, and I hope that you all had a great time. And since you as a group actually constitute my boss, I hope that you were having way too much fun to watch me play golf, although Joe did see one shot. Yeah, it was really the only one that was like that, yeah. And so I also want to congratulate, of course, the former Hofstra student athletes being honored tonight for their accomplishments. Willie Colon, Olivia Galati, Donnie Jensen, Tom Ryan, yay, okay, and Vinnie Sombrado. Okay. What a wonderful group of athletes and role models you all are. Tonight's inductees have an amazing array of accomplishments as successful athletes and dedicated members of their communities, which you will all learn about in greater detail in a few minutes. Each of these former Hofstra student athletes is a shining example of the fact that Hofstra not only nurtures our students' athletic ability as undergraduates, but also sets them up for success in their lives and in their careers. And anyone who knows anything about collegiate sports, and really any organized sport, knows that first and foremost it is about dedication, hard work, and leadership, all things that are critical to being successful in one's career and in one's life. We have continued this tradition that helped launch this evening's Hall of Fame inductees. Over the past few years, many student athletes and even some whole teams have emerged as leaders on issues of real consequence, like the racial justice movement that resurged in 2020 and the ongoing struggles that young people, including athletes, are experiencing with mental health. Hofstra student athletes are deeply engaged in these issues and are making a difference in the lives of their peers and are setting an example on our campus and really across the nation. Hofstra student athletes also go above and beyond in their service to the community, this year clocking almost 4,000 combined hours of service, mostly in the communities right around Hofstra, which is Hempstead and Uniondale. And their dedication to service and leadership is equaled by their dedication to their education. This past year, the student athletes achieved a combined 3.44 grade point average. And I'm also very proud to say that there were 3 academic All-Americans and 42 academic All-District selections. Now, the student athletes are amazing, but they could not do it without the coaches and the staff who nurture this talent and work so hard to develop each one of our student athletes as individuals. And so I would like to pause for one moment to take an opportunity to welcome Hofstra's newest coach, women's golf coach Brad Johnson. I warned him I was going to call him out. Where are you? There he is. Welcome to Brad. I also want to give a shout out to our basketball coach, Speedy Claxton, who was named. Don't you want to know why? He was named CAA coach, the conference, CAA Conference of the Year, Coach of the Year. Now, as the college sports atmosphere evolves, the jobs of our coaches and our administrators and our athletics staff are getting more and more challenging. They are on the ground every day trying to balance the pressures of a wide-open transfer portal and the dawn of the age of name, image, and likeness with the economic pressures and the expectations that accompany this evolution in college sports. Or maybe I should call it a devolution in college sports. We are in a time of great change in college athletics, and I appreciate the professionalism with which it is being addressed at Hofstra. and the support that so many of you here tonight have provided, and I hope will continue to provide, so that we can build an even more winning program that contributes to the overall sense of community and belonging at Hofstra, and where student athletes want to come and they want to stay. All of these efforts, of course, at Hofstra are being led by Hofstra's AD and Vice President, Rick Cole. And I want to acknowledge and thank Rick, an exceptional athletic director who also models ethical leadership every day. It is worth mentioning also that Rick is a full citizen of the entire university. He is always eager and willing to collaborate with others on campus for the good of the university, well beyond the athletic department, and he does it well. I can honestly say that our athletic director is making a difference in the academic programs at Hofstra, and I have never seen anything like this from a university athletic director. So will Rick, all the coaches, and the athletic staff please stand so that we can you can all join me in recognizing and thanking them for their extraordinary efforts this year. So again, thank you all for being here to share this exciting evening with us, and go Pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for President Poser. Thank you, President Poser, for all that you do for Hofstra University and your unwavering support of Hofstra athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, time now to hear from Hofstra University Vice President and Director of Athletics, Rick Cole Jr., who just completed his 5th year at Hofstra. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Cole Jr.
Thank you. Sadiq, you are truly the voice of our athletics program. Anybody that's been to many of our games, you will hear his voice bellowing through any stadium or arena. So thank you. You do a great job. We appreciate you. So I do often write a script to kind of guide me through my comments, but I usually never follow it. So I'll do the best to be on point and to be short, which I'm usually not that either, but I'll try. So the interesting thing about what brings us all here today is sport and athletics. And through the many phases of all of our lives, the people in this room, I certainly can appreciate that somehow we've been touched, moved, impacted by sport. And what it does to a group is kind of unique and special. And special and building special, creating special, and winning are the two things I talk about being so incredibly hard, because everybody wants to win and everybody wants to be a part of something special, a special team, a transformational team, a signature team. There is something special about Hofstra, and this event reminds me of this every year. And when I watched the generational excellence that assembles in one room, what's special about today is those that golfed on every hole, we have our athletes and the coaches, this generation. This evening, we get to honor our legacy and some members of the past generations, all in an effort to raise support for our future generation. It is the one time all these things come together. So I thank you for that. This is some class. I mean, some class. And I won't steal the thunder of some of the great commentary in the videos that you will see when we induct them. But when you look at special, you'll see that defined in every member of this class. They are just special in many ways. Sport also kind of reveals interesting personalities. Wouldn't you agree? You see people do things in the sport environment. We come together just differently, usually for a common cause. I've seen different. I knew we had the right president when she came on our first. We had a great alumni event. Alan, you remember that alumni event? It was in Maryland. It was great. And somehow Dr. Poser came to the scorer's table, and it was a tight game with Maryland. We were nip and tuck. Speedy were probably like, that's one I really wish we had. But we were sitting at the scorer's table, and Speedy was right there. And somehow we hit a big shot. Speedy turns about and high-fives the president at the scorer's table. I said, okay, this is unique leadership, and I think these two are going to get along just fine. You know, when you see me at a game, I often am not paying attention or have myself crazy. I joke about the time we were at UCLA, we're watching the UCLA game, and Alan and I, we have donors, they were working. The next thing you know, Alan and I are jumping up and down, hugging after the game in the middle of the ceremony. My personal therapist is a CFO. Anytime I'm in a game and things are crazy, she tells me to breathe. So it is amazing how we all come together. And when you see the history and heritage of this place, it is special. When you see what the student athletes of today are doing, they are special too, and you will be incredibly proud. I've just completed my 5th year, and we've been through a lot over those 5 years, and certainly COVID was a part that was really challenging, most importantly on our student athletes and our coaches, who were just exemplary during that time. Our coaches are special. They succeed regardless of obstacle, regardless of challenge. They just keep working and collectively finding a way to rise above and get it done. They are special. But let me quickly turn back to this class, and then I will try to wrap up as best I can. What a class. Class by every measure. And when you look at them, when I was asked what they thought made this class special, was who they are, not necessarily what they did. My witness to them is not just for their excellence, but it's also who they are when I see them interact. Willie Colon, ridiculous football player, ridiculous NFL career, another career, as I say sometimes as professional athletes, and then you go into the next career. But what I remember most about Willie is when he raced into campus to speak to a group of students, drove all the way out here, got out of the car, took his time, spent time with these students, spent time with them after, and then rushed home as fast as he could. But when he was here, he was all here. He didn't have to do that. That he gave of his time, which is equally as valuable as any treasure. So thank you for that, and congratulations. I joked, somebody, we have some exciting things, and people were commenting on, we have a great basketball schedule this year, we need to be doing more of that. And right to my right was Olivia Galati. I said, actually, what we need to do more of is getting about every kind of athlete we can, just like Olivia. Where is Olivia? Just so I can, just outstanding. And I think you said 2, how old are the children? 2 and 6 months. So we've already given her the national letter of intents for the children. Those are signed. Everybody bears witness. If I've made some kind of NCAA violation, I don't apologize this time. But you want to talk about excellence. You set the standard in not only softball, but for everything you did. They talk about the competitor you are, more importantly, the teammate you are. Not only did you invite everybody to hop on your shoulders, but you were the teammate, competitor, and work person. So thank you for that, and congratulations. Donnie, I want to say what somebody said in the video, and I'm not going to steal it, but I thought it was the coolest thing. There's an expression, you either want to beat someone or be with that someone, and it seemed like that's what your teammates felt about you. And when you set the standard of excellence like you have, we're thankful that you're here. It's amazing too, folks. We zoomed in with these recipients to talk about it. You want to talk about the gratitude and the humbleness and the excitement about Hofstra with everyone. So congratulations to you as well. And again, your video, your teammates were pretty awesome. So I won't steal the thunder, but I want to. So congratulations. Vinnie Sombrado, who we knew, before I even got here, the lacrosse community is some community. It is just. And you're in everyone's community. Everybody knows you. You're one of the greatest. You're one of the best. Again, what I find, Vinnie, really awesome about you is every time I see you, you greet me the same way, with the same smile, with the same gratitude, with the same politeness, and just excited to be at a lacrosse game. It's just amazing. I think if I had your resume, maybe I'd be a little bit different, but I don't have your resume, so we'll just continue. But congratulations to this of the many Hall of Fames you belong. Thank you for joining ours. And Coach Ryan is in transit. He is stuck in Philadelphia in the airport and is driving in a cab, I believe, to get here with his bride. So when he enters, there might be a little bit of an ovation for another reason, because boy, did he get after it to get here. But yeah, exactly. But what I will say about Coach Ryan is there isn't one person that doesn't talk about the excellence and the standard by which he set, but more importantly, how he empowered his wrestlers to think and accomplish things they never thought imaginable. He set a standard. Dennis, was incredibly articulate when talking about the impact that he had not only on him, but on the wrestlers that he was with. And we have a lot of history in our wrestling program, so that doesn't happen and continue without Coach Ryan and what he did. So we're thrilled to be able to honor him as well. So before I close, I certainly want to extend my gratitude to not only the leadership of our college and the cabinet, but everybody here, because everybody's got choices in what they do with their time, what they do with their philanthropy, and what they do with their efforts and what they get behind. So I look to try to three things when I do have a chance to represent this program, is to first and foremost show gratitude to the people that are continuing to help the next generation of student athletes. So thank you to everybody in this room. That's number one. Number two, to honor the student athletes that we have today. It's their turn. We're going to do the very best we can every day because they deserve it. They continue to make us proud in their everyday behavior, their exceptional behavior, and how they represent all of us and all of you that had the privilege of wearing the blue and gold and that special laundry. Dr. Poser talked about the transition or transformation of college athletics. It is real, and we're up for the challenge. We're not going to be shy about inviting you all to help us because we're going to need your help, and it's the only reason why Hofstra has ever succeeded. It's because of this family that continues to give back to its own and build a better opportunity for the next generation. So while we show gratitude, I would like to call to action a little bit. Visit often, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, shoot us a text, send us an email. If you think you can help, let us know how. Or just come cheer and enjoy what is really special in Hofstra. Continue to help the special that you all and the people that came before us created. Tell the story of Hofstra. Don't be afraid to share it. And I'm not just talking about the wins and the losses, but what it felt like to be on this campus and in this family. That story will continue to transform all who we are and all we hope to be. I thank you on behalf of our entire coaching staff and student athletes. A lot went into today, and we have a lot to celebrate tonight. So I hope you will be patient as we go through the honorees tonight, because they sure deserve it, because they are simply outstanding. Congratulations to them. Thank you all, and go Pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Rick Cole Jr. Thank you, Rick, for all that you do for Hofstra Athletics, elevating this program to new heights. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to recognize members of the Hofstra Athletics Pride Club Board in attendance. So when we call your name, please stand so that you may be recognized. Pride Club President Tony Paratini. Emily Corzel. Linda Caruso. And past President Colonel E. David Wojcik. And Larry Bloom. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to invite Hofstra Athletics Pride Club President Tony Paratini to the podium to say a few words. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony Paratini. Change in plans. Well, ladies and gentlemen, time now for our golf awards. If your name is called, please see Jerry Hubschman to collect your award if your name is called. So by a show of hands, who played earlier today? Now keep your hand up if you played well today. Keep your hand up. Well, 2.5 of you played well today. How about that? Keep your hand up if you actually applied sunscreen, because unlike the rest of us, we thought there'd be some cloud cover, but instead, we got blasting hot sun today. And all the hands are down. Our first award, ladies and gentlemen, the longest drive for women on the second hole was Jen Moan. Longest drive for the men on the second hole, Jason Savarese. Now, do we have recorded distances, or are we going unofficial on those? 365, there we go. Our next award, closest to the pin on the fifth hole, with a winning distance of 3 feet 5 inches from the pin, Doug Hayden. On the eighth hole, with a winning distance of 2 feet 6 inches from the pin, Mike Fee. On the 11th hole, with a winning distance of 1 foot 7 inches from the pin, Kevin O'Reilly. And on the 14th hole, with a winning distance of 12 feet from the pin, J.P. Sanchez. Time now to announce our 50-50 raffle winners. We welcome to the stage Hofstra softball coach Adrian Clark and baseball coach Frank Catalanato. The first one is for the $10 board.
The winner is Ray Downey.
All right, second for the $20 board. Let's give it a good spin. Oh.
It's Frank Carmlos? Caruso? Frank Caruso? I don't know.
Frank Caruso, come on down. Ladies and gentlemen, we now announce the winner of the lacrosse helmet from the Hole 5 Drive Challenge with men's lacrosse. The winner is Ryan Quinn. And for the winner of the golf bag from Hole 11 Beat the Pride with women's golf, the winner is Bob Gartland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our team awards, our winning team with a combined score of 16 under, it is the foursome. Let's simmer down a little bit. So you know the team winner. The team with Jeff Fraccaro, Joey Fraccaro, Jake Fraccaro, and Tyler Grimes. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all of our winners here today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time now to begin our Hall of Fame inductions. We would first like to acknowledge all of the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Famers in attendance with us tonight. Please stand when your name is called. Speedy Claxton. Bill Edwards. John Frew. John Massa. Nick Gallo. Eric Schmiesing. Trevor Dimmy. Cindy Lewis. Larry Bloom. Marcus Colston. And James C. Metzger. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for all of our Hofstra Athletics Hall of Famers here with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, our first Hall of Fame inductee, Willie Colon, was a standout offensive lineman for the Hofstra football team from 2001 to 2005 and served as team captain as a senior. A two-time All-Atlantic 10 selection, Willie had a breakout season as a senior that saw him earn All-America accolades from 5 different organizations, including the Associated Press and the American Football Coaches Association. During his tenure, Hofstra averaged more than 100 yards of rushing offense 3 times and more than 350 yards of total offense each season. Willie was a 4th-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2006 NFL Draft and went on to play 7 seasons in Pittsburgh, making 2 Super Bowl appearances and winning Super Bowl 43. In 2013, Willie returned home after signing with the New York Jets, starting 38 games over his 3 seasons with the team before retiring from the NFL in 2016. Willie has been a prominent member of the sports media since retiring, with appearances on ESPN, NFL Network, Fox Sports, CBS Sports, and SNY. He is currently a morning show host on Morning Men on SiriusXM's Mad Dog Sports Channel. Willie and his wife Aikisha are the co-founders of the Willie and Aikisha Colon Foundation. This foundation is committed to bettering underserved and underprivileged communities, focusing on the founders' home communities of South Bronx, New York, and Jackson, Mississippi. In addition to their professional careers, Willie and Aikisha are the proud parents of 2 children, William IV and Holly. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the video screens for more about Willie Colon, as well as thoughts from his position coach, Damian Rodlowski, and teammate, Cole Haley. Willie Colon.
Willie was a competitive, talented human being in a lot of different ways. Hard-nosed football player, but what's inside, the heart, the nature of who he is.
Willie knew he was given the opportunity to play in the NFL, and he took full advantage of it.
He earned it.
Hofstra was the right fit for Willie Colon. A standout at Cardinal Hayes High School, he took the advice of his then coach, former Hofstra player C.J. O'Neal to consider wearing the blue and gold. Wanting to stay close to home to support his family, Hofstra would be the spot that this hard-working kid from the Bronx would further develop his game.
Willie is to this day the best player I've ever coached because of how hard he competed, how proud he was.
He always showed up to the gym with the mindset that he was going to make himself better that day, and no one was going to outwork him.
His hardness, his toughness, his physical nature. He wasn't going to let somebody in the room not live up to a standard like that. He's a very proud person, and he was going to make sure the people around him were equally as proud.
An All-Atlantic 10 selection as a junior, the starting right tackle for head coach Joe Gardy enjoyed a breakout season in his final year. First-team All-America honors, and plenty of NFL scouts who thought he could play at the next level.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh, wait a minute here. This is what we're looking for. Guys like Willie are fun to coach. They're fun to coach because they work hard. They exemplify the position. They get football makes sense to Willie.
In 2006, Colon was drafted in the 4th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers, winning Super Bowl 43. He returned to the Big Apple to play 3 more seasons with the Jets before hanging up the cleats in 2015.
And all the people that have helped him along the way, his high school coaches, his family, his aunt, his mom, everybody in between, had a piece of helping that young man, and then him cherishing it and using it and seeing it come to fruition was awesome.
Colon is still involved with the sport, talking football on both radio and television. And now he can add another great honor, the newest member of the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame.
Willie, I love you, brother, and I can't think of a more deserving individual to be inducted into Hofstra's Athletics Hall of Fame than you.
Knock him back.
The newest member of the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame, Willie Colon.
Thank you. I was going to go off the cuff, but when you have a wife as smart as mine, she's like, write it down so you don't sound stupid. No, from the bottom of my heart, first of all, congratulations to all the inductees. Give them a round of applause. I got the call when I was in my home in Jackson, Mississippi, and when I turned on a Zoom, Speedy Claxton was looking at me. And I was like, you didn't play football. So did I, what's up, Speedy? And he was like, man, I just came to talk. I was like, we usually text. But when he told me I was gonna be introduced into the Hall of Fame, man, honestly, it was a dream come true, because when I came to Hofstra, Speedy was obviously gone, but he has such a vibrant name, and he was kicking tail in the NBA. And it's an honor and a pleasure, brother, to call you my brother and friend. And now, we together. I was inducted into Cardinal Hayes Hall of Fame not too long ago, and the biggest mistake I did during this speech was not thank my wife and kids. I thanked everybody except my wife and my kids. I paid for it too. So before I give a bunch of thank yous and I love yous, please give a round of applause to my wife and my kids. To my family who's here, who's there every Saturday, no matter the weather, still cheering it on, still showing up, giving us all, giving me all you got. I love you guys. To my mother who's not here with us, who's there every Saturday, she didn't know a lot about football. I remember one time she asked me, did I get an interception? I was like, Ma, that's not it. But she was competitive, and she was committed to being there for me and my brother. She would show up every Saturday with $20 in a care package. That was everything in that care package was against my diet. And I paid for it by my offensive line coach over there, Coach Wroblewski. To my father, who's no longer with us as well, he had a vibrant, loud voice. He was my jolt of energy. He knew enough about football, but he was there for the fighting. So I hopefully I gave him enough of that. To my brother Antonio, who I love, don't look at me, I'm not doing it. Who was my therapist, my bartender, my nurse, and my taxi many nights. And you made the gridiron fun. So thank you, bro. I got to get to the coaches because the first person I got to shout out was Coach C.J. O'Neill, head coach of Cardinal Hayes High School. C.J. was very important in my role to come into Hofstra. Now as the alumni, he played for the school. You know, sometimes when every young man, when you're trying to figure out where you're going to go or how it's going to happen, he wasn't worried about me as a football player. He's worried about me as a man. And he was worried about my development and who's actually going to care for me and my brother. So to C.J. O'Neill, who's sitting over there at that table right now, raise your hand, C.J. Thank you, and I love you. You know that. Now this one's going to get me choked up. Coach Damian Wroblewski. When you walked into my life, man, it was you delivered. You made You made a promise to my mom. I wasn't only going to play football, but I was going to get a degree. And you made that happen. You did things well beyond your job title. You was my big brother, my ass kicker, my sensei, all the above. And I'm so in debt for you because you built me from the bootstraps. If all those men over in that table tell you from the bottom of my heart, I was a different ball player when you came to Hofstra University. I didn't know much about the NFL, nor did I care. I just wanted to play football. But you brought a different aspect to the game that I just never experienced. My love for you and football is forever intertwined. When I text you, I call you my sensei. Because we had a lot of hard days on that field, a lot of love, a lot of hard love, but I know it was all love. And to your family, to my family, I will be forever indebted to you. Thank you. I'm going a little backwards here, but Kyle Flood, who's not with us at the moment, he walked into my living room in the South Bronx, sat on my mother's couch, ate the deviled eggs, and he promised my mother one thing. He was like, listen, I'm not going to promise in the world, I'm going to promise him my opportunity. And he delivered. So to Kyle Flood, please give him a round of applause. To the great Dave Gardy, he fought hard for us. He was eccentric in a lot of ways. His approach and how he talked and how he walked was different, but he cared. And if you've ever had the opportunity, like many men in this room, about to walk onto the field and hearing that pregame speech that was live at 5, baby. That was different. But R.I.P. man to the great coach Dave Gardy. Now on to my brothers who are here. I don't even know what to say. To Marcus, Jed, Steele, I'm looking at, Chop. I didn't even know you were showing up. Chop, T-Shaw, Bo, Darb, Beans. That's Trevor Demme, by the way. We call him Beans. Dan's brother Antonio didn't play here, but he was always on campus, so we treat him he was always with us. But all I wanted y'all to know is when I took the field, I played for you and my family. And any opponent that saw Hofstra coming out of that tunnel, I hope they realized I was coming to kick ass and win football games. And 77 was throwing the first punch. This tradition that I was birthed in, everything that I look across this room, the love I receive on and off the field, I'm just so humbled by it. I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Lastly, to Antonio and Dan, Mr. Gray, may he rest in peace. He exemplified what it means to forever love Hofstra, and I will carry my banner as high as he carried his. And to everybody here, thank you for just believing in Willie. Keep fighting for Willie. Keep praying for my family. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear once again for Willie Colon. Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce our next inductee, we also wanted to acknowledge another member of the Hofstra Hall of Fame, class of 2008. Please recognize Linda Wing Caruso. Hofstra Hall of Fame, class of 2008, played for the women's lacrosse and field hockey teams. Ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee, Olivia Galati. Olivia was a softball student athlete from 2010 to 2013 and finished her Pride career as one of the most decorated student athletes in Hofstra history. A pitcher, Olivia was a two-time National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-American and was Hofstra's first ever first-team selection in 2012. A four-time Colonial Athletic Association Pitcher of the Year, she was also named first-team All-CAA in each of her 4 seasons. In addition, Olivia garnered 4 NFCA All-Northeast Region nods and was named the recipient of the Dr. Nathalie J. Smith Award as Hofstra's top athlete from a women's team in 2013. She was a standout in the classroom as well, earning academic All-America recognition as a senior, and was a 2-time National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Scholar All-American. Olivia helped the Pride win 3 CAA championships during her tenure and was named the tournament's most outstanding player all 3 times. In addition, she was part of 3 NCAA tournament teams, including the program's first ever super regional appearance in 2012. Olivia, who had her number 2 jersey retired in 2017, holds nearly every pitching record at Hofstra. An accomplished hitter, Olivia batted .311 for her career with 27 doubles, 9 home runs, and 85 RBIs. Following her senior season, she was selected 2nd overall by the New York, New Jersey Comets in the National Pro Fast Pitch Draft. She won the NPF Championship in 2014 with USSA Pride. Olivia is currently a physical education teacher and the varsity softball coach at Bayshore High School. Olivia and her wife, Diana, are the proud parents of 2 daughters, Livia and May. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video screens for more about Olivia Galati with comments from Hall of Fame coach Bill Edwards and teammate Courtney Cruz.
Olivia was the kind of player that I would call the infield in, and I would say, okay, Olivia, we need you to strike this kid out. And she would.
Once in a while, a player comes along who is truly special.
The once-in-a-lifetime student athlete that not only was a tremendous on-the-field performer, but a great ambassador to the university.
From the moment Olivia Galati stepped on campus in 2010, she exemplified what it means to be an all-time great student athlete.
When we're talking about one of the best softball players in Hofstra history, we knew that we were getting a very, very special talent. But what we didn't know was how driven she was as a student athlete. She had an untiring work ethic. She was so self-motivated and self-driven and self-disciplined. She really wanted to be the best that she could possibly be. She drove herself to become an All-American. She drove herself to become a Hall of Famer.
Galati graduated from Hofstra in 2013 as one of the most decorated student athletes in the school's history. Yet none of these accomplishments were for her.
The best part of Olivia was, not her talent, but her humility. And, all of her accolades and all of her compliments and all of her honors were not accomplished for Olivia. They were accomplished for her teammates. They were accomplished for Hofstra softball.
Just looking back on the season, we had a good run, so it's nice that people are doing this for us.
I think her stats show it for herself, and her success shows it for herself. She's a competitor, and the ability to come out and quote a mid-major school like Hofstra and put on a lot of the performances that she had, showed that competitive side.
Galati's tenure put the Pride on the national stage as the first ever Hofstra First Team All-American after an incredible run to the Super Regionals.
That's like ridiculous. That speaks volumes. So when you talk about, Olivia at Hofstra and what she's done for Hofstra, think about what she's done on a national scale. Think about where she stands with the very best of best. It's easy to say that she's probably one of the most dynamic and influential and powerful athletes Hofstra University has ever had.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame, Olivia Galati.
Willie, before I forget, too, congratulations also. But I connected with your story with your mom with not knowing anything about football and throwing my mom under the bus right now. But she's not going to like it for later. But I remember my dad telling me the story. I don't even know who we were playing, but I was pitching that game. I was up to bat. My mom's on the phone with my dad. Nikki, she did good. She hit it to center field. Oh no, they got her out. She hit it to the pitcher, Nat? Yeah, the center of the field, Nick. So all the support in the world from Miss Galati over there. She's embarrassed, but she'll get over it. All right, no, just again, I'm so emotional, but. First and foremost, I'd like to express my gratitude, as I already congratulated Willie, to Hofstra for hosting this event. I extend my congratulations to all the other inductees who are being honored here tonight as we join such esteemed ranks of this university's Hall of Fame. It is truly an honor to be recognized among such exceptional athletes through the decades and decades of sports in this incredible university. As an athlete, while you're in the midst of your career, it doesn't dawn on you to think about the journey that you're on while you're in it. And I realized that tonight when I was speaking with everybody who I haven't seen in quite some time. But it's not until after your short athletic career that you start to realize everything that your game that you've played has brought into your life. The people that you've met along the way have become your closest friends. The memories you contain from practices, games, injuries, and ice baths have helped to shape the person that you are and continue to be applied to your everyday life. Before I began my career here at Hofstra, I was blessed with a family who supported my dream of playing softball from such a young age. My parents and my older sister were always there to support me from the very beginning. And as a little girl, my dad and I were watching the Women's College World Series on TV in my living room. And I remember I looked up at him and I said, "Dad, I want to play softball on TV." And without hesitation, he responded with, "Okay, let's go practice. No big deal." It was at that moment that we began our journey together, learning the intricacies of pitching and applying everything that I had mentally and physically into learning to be the best that I could be. My father helped develop and instill the solid foundation of my mental approach to the game of softball. Every pitch had to be better than the last, and every pitch had to be thrown with a purpose to strike someone out. We had the ability to practice in my basement every day that when I look back on those memories, I am unable to put a price tag on it. As a mom of 2 little girls now, I see the importance and the impact that our special time together has had on both me as an athlete and the bond that we share together through this incredible sport. During my collegiate career, I was fortunate to play for such established coaches in Hall of Famer himself, Coach Edwards over there, Larissa Anderson here at Hofstra. The team's current coaches, Adrian Clark, Kristen Sandberg, and Ophir Sadeh, have also been a part of my 4-year journey and shortly after. Adi and Ophir, who had an incredible season this year, had been assistant coaches while I was playing, and I'm so excited for you, Adi, as you continue in your coaching career as Hofstra's head coach. I'm so excited for you. As an athlete in this program and for playing for the legendary Bill Edwards, it has taught me so much that it's really impossible to put it all into words in a short speech. What an amazing and fantastic doesn't even cover the word, but what an incredible coach and an honor it was to have the opportunity to play for you. In this program, I was taught how to deal with and respond to adversity, as well as how to test your body, both physically and mentally. Our team was tested, as every athletic team is, how to perform under pressure, but maintain confidence no matter who we played in the country. Coach always said to us, prepare to play against Cupcake University or Bazooka State, because it didn't matter who we were playing against in the country as a mid-major softball program. We played Hofstra softball. It was instilled in us always to be students of the game, which I now incorporate that mentality every day as a teacher, as a coach, and in the game of life. Thank you for teaching me and providing me with the opportunity to play here at Hofstra, where I've had so many incredible memories. The experiences with your teammates on and off the field are really invaluable. What is so impactful, as we see here through everybody tonight, as I reflect on my softball career, it really is the family atmosphere that this university embraces. I am so excited to continue to implement the life lessons that were learned throughout my entire softball journey and my collegiate career. Thank you to my mother, my father, and my sister Brittany, who can't be here tonight, for being there from the beginning. Thank you to my Hofstra family, coaches, and teammates and staff for being there during the pinnacle of my softball career. And thank you to my wife, Diana, and 2 beautiful little girls, Olivia and Mia, for being there as I continue my new role in life as a mom. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear once again for Olivia Galati. Before we introduce our next Hall of Fame inductee, ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce our next, I don't know, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce our next, and yes, his rebooting, system's rebooting, so we'll give about a minute, but I'm loud enough, you can hear me as it is. Before we introduce our next Hall of Fame inductee, we would like to recognize 2 members of the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame here with us tonight. One, a true Hofstra legend in every sense of the word. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's hear it for Cindy Lewis. He played for the Hofstra Pride men's soccer team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Zach Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, our third Hall of Fame inductee, there we go, is Donnie Jensen Hominick. A field hockey student athlete from 2003 to 2006, a forward and a midfielder, Donnie totaled 48 points on 18 goals and 12 assists during her tenure and helped lead Hofstra to 3 Colonial Athletic Association championship appearances. Donnie was an STX National Field Hockey Coaches Association third-team All-American in 2004 and 2005 and was a 3-time NFHCA All-Mid-East Region honoree. She earned All-CAA first-team honors in 2004 and 2005 and was selected to the All-CAA second team in 2006. Donnie represented Hofstra on the 2006 NFHCA Division I Senior All-Star Team and was named to the NFHCA Division I National Academic Squad in 2003, 2004, and 2005. During her Hofstra tenure, she was heavily involved in United States field hockey and was a member of the 2004 and 2005 U.S. Field Hockey Under-21 National Team and the 2006 U.S. National Elite Training Squad. In 2022, Donnie was named to the U.S. Women's Over 35 team for the World Masters Hockey World Cup. In addition to her field hockey career, Donnie also co-founded Kedick Fashion Workshop, which was featured in Oprah magazine. She is married to former Hofstra wrestler Matthew Hominick, and the couple has one son, Kelly. We will now hear more about Donnie, including comments from teammate Cara McEnany and former head coach Kathy DeAngelis.
Donnie Jensen.
No one worked harder than Donnie.
Donnie's work ethic, relentless desire to be the best that she could be and to push our program was unmatched.
You know, as a teammate, she really set that bar high of not just being competitive on the field and showing up on game day, but also like showing up and working hard to be the best that you can be.
She exudes so much inner confidence that is contagious, and it's really what helped propel our program.
A star on Long Island throughout high school, Jensen brought her talents to Hofstra in the fall of 2003, and with it, an untiring drive, as well as some former rivals to join her in the blue and gold.
Right after we played them, she had said to me, "Hey, I'm going to Hofstra, like, you gotta come." And I think for me, that was probably one of the selling points for going to Hofstra, was that Donnie was going there too.
The reason why we sustained success at Hofstra for so many years was because of the foundation that was set during Donnie's time as a student athlete.
Asked me 20 years ago if Donnie Jensen was going to be one of my best friends, I would have thought that you'd be crazy, you know, because that rival, you know, we're both so competitive.
Jensen's tenure was filled with accolades, yet the competitiveness hasn't stopped. Now married with a family, Donnie placed 5th for the U.S. Women's Over 35 team in the World Masters Hockey World Cup, scoring a goal too.
There's no shock that she'd make this team, like 100%. Like she's an unreal athlete.
Since the day I met her, she had been working towards that goal of representing the United States.
Jensen is the 8th field hockey student athlete to enter the Hofstra Hall of Fame, but the first ever who only played field hockey.
I want to say congratulations on being inducted to the Hall of Fame. You were one of the greatest, if not greatest, players ever to play for me while I was at Hofstra, and I'm so proud.
I'm incredibly proud of you. There is no one more deserving of this accomplishment than you. You know, you're the hardest working teammate that I've ever come across, and I'm so thankful that we went from rivals to best friends, and I guess the stars are coming out tonight, so congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame, Donnie Jensen Hominick.
Wow, that was so nice. Actually, to this day, I don't connect with anyone on the field like I connected with Kara. She's a tremendous player, and I was lucky to play with her, so thank you. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. You all are so impressive. And thank you for this incredible honor. At my core, I'm an athlete, which makes being recognized for my accomplishments today so meaningful. So thank you. By a show of hands, how many of you were lifting weights in elementary school? Okay, not a lot. So my upbringing was different. I'm the middle of 5 in a super athletic family. We played all the sports, and everything we did together essentially became competitive sport, from keep it up to wakeboarding. And yes, family lifts were a normal occurrence. And if that shocks you, how about the fact that we had a wrestling mat in our living room, and it wasn't uncommon for a siblings' quarrel to be settled on the mat, or that for much of my youth, I was the only girl wrestler on Long Island. And I was pretty good, too. My parents created a unique culture in our home focused on athletics, balancing playfulness and pursuing excellence. They made lofty goals feel attainable by equipping us with knowledge and skills. All of my siblings were great athletes, and we inspired each other to push boundaries. For instance, I witnessed my brother Jesse work day in and day out to become the first ever 4-time New York State wrestling champion. So at a young age, I had a deep understanding of what it took to excel in sports. My dad, who was inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame as a coach, found so much joy in coaching his children and helping us reach our potential. He was my wrestling coach and had a major influence in shaping me as an athlete. My dad's approach was ahead of his time. It was kind, it was positive, and he always got the most out of his athletes. Though my father's area of expertise was wrestling, it didn't stop him from learning everything he could about field hockey. And if he were here today, I know he would be beaming with pride. I found field hockey in middle school and made varsity in 9th grade. My high school had a really strong team, so I only got about 5 minutes a game. At the time, at the end of my freshman season, I was determined to see more time on the field. So I applied everything I learned from my upbringing and what my dad taught me about wrestling to field hockey. I knew exactly what I had to do. Every day from that point on, even through the cold winter months, I was outside, stick and ball, practicing, ultimately destroying my parents' yard, but also improving at a sport I knew I was meant to play. Come spring, my hard work paid off, and I was selected to compete at the National Futures Tournament. It was a major college scouting tournament and proving ground for the U.S. team selection. And then I broke my finger in the first game. I called my mom to tell her what happened, expecting her to say, all right, well, nice try, it's time to come home. But instead, she reminded me that I worked hard for this opportunity and that I may not get it again. So her advice was to tape it up and finish the tournament. So I did just that. And actually, I played well enough to advance to a showcase tournament that summer, where I was then picked for the under-16 national team. So in 6 months, I went from barely playing to making a national team. So my mom's advice was critical to me becoming a Division I recruit and finding my way to Hofstra. So a special thank you to my mom. For helping me persevere when it really mattered. I am filled with gratitude when I look back at my 4 years at Hofstra. I was so happy to play college field hockey, And my experience at Hofstra gave me so much in return. I'd like to thank Kathy and Wendy for giving me that opportunity to play this incredible sport at a great school with such talented teammates. Thank you to all my coaches, trainers, strength coaches, the Hofstra athletics department, for making me feel like I was special, like I was a professional athlete. And they provided the environment for me to flourish. Thank you to all my amazing teammates. I loved playing with you. I loved all the time we spent together, all the laughs we shared. And I am so grateful for our lasting friendships today. To my family and friends who are able to make it today and who are not, I love you all and I appreciate your endless support. And lastly, thank you to my husband, Matt. Yes, I married a Hofstra wrestler. Matt is my biggest fan, and he makes me feel like I can realize any dream of mine. And he also watches our son once a week so I can drive into the city and play field hockey still. Again, this is such an honor. Thank you all so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear once again for Donnie Jensen Hominick. Ladies and gentlemen, our fourth Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame inductee this evening, Vinnie Sombrado. Well, wait till you hear this next line. One of the greatest lacrosse players to ever play at Hofstra University and was a member of the Pride 1979 to 1980. Vinnie was a United States Intercollegiate Lacrosse Association second-team All-American selection at midfield in 1980 after scoring 37 goals and 17 assists. The 37 goals are the 16th highest single-season total in program history, and the 54 points ranked 25th on the single-season list. He also served as team co-captain that season. Following his collegiate career, Vinnie represented the United States on 4 World Lacrosse Championship teams, winning the gold medal each time. He was a 2-time Team USA captain and was named to the 1982 All-World Team. Vinnie also enjoyed an illustrious career as a club player for Long Island Hofstra, winning 10 U.S. Club National Championships and 3 National Club Player of the Year honors. A 15-time All-Club selection, he also earned the Krongard Award, the highest honor in club lacrosse. Vinnie also played professional lacrosse for the New York Saints and Long Island Lizards between 1993 and 2002. Vinnie is a member of multiple Hall of Fames, including the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame and the Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Sombrado also serves on the voting committee of the Professional Lacrosse Hall of Fame. The Hofstra men's lacrosse locker room is named in his honor, as well as Coach Harry Royal. Vinnie currently serves as the Vice President for Business Development for the Whitmore Group. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we ask that you please turn your attention to the video screens for more on Vinnie, including comments from his teammate and Hofstra Athletics Hall of Famer James C. Metzger.
Vinnie Sombrado.
In my eyes, Vinnie Sombrado was the closest thing to a perfect lacrosse player I have ever seen. If God were asked to create the perfect lacrosse midfielder, he would have created Vinnie Sombrado. And he did.
Vinnie Sombrado isn't just a decorated Hofstra lacrosse alumnus. He's one of the all-time greats to ever play the sport.
The singular combination of skill, will, intensity, and intelligence add up to the creation of Vinnie Sombrado. However, he had an immeasurable impact on any lacrosse game in which he played. His will to win and the level of intensity he brought to every game were unmatched.
Sombrado's 1980 All-American season was one for the record books, the cog of a group that had multiple All-American honorees. He enhanced the play of others through his lacrosse IQ and love of the sport.
Whether as a teammate or a competitor, Vinnie was the smartest player with whom I ever had the pleasure to share a lacrosse field. He made me a significantly better player as my teammate. I did not have his work ethic, nor did I have his ambition. But when we played together in 1980, he brought the best out in me. And sometimes that was tough to do. And I'm eternally grateful for that.
Sombrado, an ageless wonder, played professionally into his 40s. He was the first player in U.S. senior team history to make the squad 4 times, leading as a captain twice and winning 4 gold medals.
You need a U-Haul when he moves just for his trophies and hardware that he's accumulated.
Each year at the Nassau County High School Boys Lacrosse Championships, one player from each of the 8 remaining teams is the recipient of the James C. Metzger Leadership Award. Among many traits, the award is given to someone who also possesses the ability to inspire others on and off the field. The same characteristics that made Vinnie Sombrado the Hall of Fame athlete he is today.
Vinnie Sombrado has impeccable integrity. He's honest. He's the salt of the earth as a human being.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame, Vinnie Sombrado.
Wow, what a night. And to be inducted with such illustrious Hofstra athletes, it's very special. And the words from my teammate and dear friend, Jim Metzger, who kept me relevant by doing enough to pay for a locker room in both our old coach's name and myself. Wow. My family's there, they're holding their breath because they say I talk a lot. But I'm going to tell you, listening to the 3 inductees, and congratulations to all of you. We have such common themes, and that's family. Whether it's our nuclear families, our extended family, and our Hofstra family. And the Hofstra family, like our real family, has lasted forever for all of us because of our experiences that we had when we were there. I listened to Willie Colon. He's a CHSAA, Catholic high school athlete. I went to Chaminade. I played 3 sports at Chaminade. And when I was at Chaminade, we played our home football games at Hofstra on the old turf, where you left a lot of skin if you fell. It was only the second AstroTurf installed in the country after the Houston Astrodome. So it tells you how they replaced the Astrodome 15 times. Hofstra had the same turf. And we would play, because we were the Catholic League, we used to play our games on Sundays. We used to have a walkthrough on a Saturday. Hofstra would play a lot of their football games on Friday night. And man, the bandages on the sidelines filled with blood. I used to say, oh man, we're in for it on Sunday. But most people, every bio that I've ever had talks about me being from Port Washington, but I have to take you one step back and tell you, I know Willie's from the Bronx, but I grew up in East Harlem, New York, Pleasant Avenue, 119th Street. And I was a kid that played all kinds of sports and in the street. What moving to Long Island did for me was gave me opportunity, which is what everybody needs in life. Opportunity. Along with opportunity, what everybody needs is support. That's where family comes in, whether it's your nuclear family, as I said, or an extended family. So I moved to Port Washington, and here I am, a football, baseball, basketball player, and I'm playing football my first year, and some of the guys are talking about this game, lacrosse, and they're saying, Vinny, you're going to play lacrosse in the spring, right? You're going to play lacrosse. And I'm saying, yeah, I'm playing lacrosse. I'm playing lacrosse. I get home, I said to my mother, Ma, what's lacrosse? And she said, I have no idea. Ask your father when he comes home. So my father, in the neighborhood we grew up in, nobody knew anybody's last name. You were either, you know, Torpedo or Joey the Nose or whatever. I had a dad that was simply known as Star, because he was a star at anything he did, and especially in athletics. So he knew sports in and out. He watched sports, he bet on sports, he did everything with sports. Well, he comes home and I said, Dad, I said, what's this game lacrosse? And he turned to me, looked at me, and he said, you're going to be great at that. And I looked at him and I said, why do you say that, Dad? He said, you're elusive. They'll never catch you. That's your strength. You can change direction, you can run. I said, well, what do you do with the stick? He says, you'll learn all of that. But you have something that's God-given, and you're going to be good at it. And his words were so true, because my skill set fit the sport of lacrosse. So I go to Chaminade, and like I said, timing in life is everything. I get to Chaminade, I'm a freshman. They didn't even have a lacrosse team. The first year I get there, they organize a lacrosse team, and it's a club team. And we're not very good, but we're trying. Go through my sophomore year, I'm developing. I developed so much. I looked at Willie Colon, the size of him. I'm under-recruited. Nobody's recruiting me. And my coach was a football lacrosse player at Hofstra. His name was Larry Lynch. And he says, I'm going to talk to Harry Royal at Hofstra about you going to play lacrosse at Hofstra. Harry calls Harry. Harry comes to see me. He looks at me, looks up and down, looks up and down. I know he's saying, this can't be the guy he's talking about, right? I'm 5'8", 140 pounds. I never shaved until I was a sophomore in college. And so, to his credit, and I'm so thankful to Harry Royal, he took a shot with me. And he said, I'm going to give you some money, and you're going to come play lacrosse at Hofstra. And I said, wow, this is unbelievable. He said, but you're going to play football too. I said, football? I'm 140 pounds. So I said, give me a couple of years. So it's not in my bio, but I did also play football at Hofstra, and against Kurt Sohn when he was playing for Fordham, a great New York Jet. So I got to do that also. But at Hofstra, you know, we always talked about the guys on the team that I played with. We had phenomenal players. But it's an issue then as it is now. Long Island kids, which was a hotbed, they want to go away. I never felt the need to go away. I wanted to be near my family. I wanted to be at Hofstra. I wanted to be back on that turf that I played on for 2 years at Chaminade. And I did it. And we won games, we lost games, we had big upsets. Jim and I, 1980 he talks about when we were together, we had 3 wins over teams that were ranked anywhere from 3 to 7. And those were special games because a lot of times when you are an underdog, you feel more satisfied winning as an underdog. And we did that a number of times. Then, of course, when I went on, I came out of school. I was out of school after my sophomore year, and I played for the great Long Island Hofstra lacrosse club that they read in my bio. And I was able to play 21 years for that team. And while playing for that team, when I came in, the guys, Tom Postel, these names would not mean anything to non-lacrosse people, but Tom Postel, Ronnie Frazier, Stan Kowalski, Mike Thurl, on and on the list goes. The best of the best played on this team. We were the New York Yankees of the lacrosse world, and that's why I won so many championships. Not any single guy wins championships in this kind of a sport, in any sport, really. Even in wrestling, I know, unfortunately, Tom couldn't get here just yet, but even in wrestling, it takes a team. You have to have the right coaches, trainers, everything, your partners that you wrestle with. It's always about having people around you that encourage you. And so I had guys who encouraged me that just kept telling me, you're getting better and better, and keep it up, and keep it up, and keep it up. And I did. And as I kept it up, and as I started to grow and learn the game more, I got another opportunity, because of the Long Island Lacrosse Club, to try out for the U.S. team. And when I had told guys the year before that, you know, I would like to try out for the U.S. team, some guys laughed and said, you know what it is to make that team? Well, I guess I showed them because I made 4 of them and won 4 gold medals. So, I, 4 gold medals. So, But I would say the length of my career, my love for the game, but even more was the love of my teammates. I just love being around, playing with the guys, you know, and guys along the way, getting married, having kids, and, you know, and then seeing their kids coming up over the years and all. And that was the best part of it. And that family, lacrosse family, was amazing. But it still comes second to my real family, because I come from a family where I'm one of 7. I have 5 sisters and 1 brother. And one brother who's in the Long Island Lacrosse Hall of Fame, who's 10 years younger. He's sitting over there. And had it not been for my brother coaxing me along the way for many years, every year I thought about maybe I won't play anymore. And he'd say, "What are you talking about? We need you." And I said, "You need me." Some of those videos you're looking at there, I'm 41, 42 years old, you know, and I'm playing and I'm saying, one of these days, these guys are going to give me a beating here. But it was always fun, the winning gets contagious, and the friendships. But the support of my mom and dad, my sisters, and then, of course, my sisters through marriage, my extended family who are all here, my nieces, nephews, cousins, they're all phenomenal athletes. They have accolades equal to mine. They've been all pros, they've been all Americans, they've been on championship teams. So that's the culture we cultivated within our family. And that's what it's all about. Whether it was with sports or anything else, that's the culture we want and what people should want to have. And I thank God every day that I have that family. And so I will just say, Hofstra is so special to me. I said to somebody, nobody's played as many games on the Hofstra turf as me. The team I played for 21 years, we played at Hofstra. And I played in high school at Hofstra, and then I played in the Pro League, and we played at Hofstra. So I figured I probably have played over 300 games at Hofstra on that turf. So my body feels it, but I wouldn't give any 1 second of it up for what happened and the blessings that I have had. And again, I would like to thank Hofstra. They've been so good to me. I'm there all the time. To have my good friend Jim Metzger name a locker room after me, I'm humbled by all of it. It's quite frankly a little embarrassing at times, but I'll take it. So have a good night, everybody, and thank you for all coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear once again for Vinnie Sombrado, a Long Island lacrosse legend and now Hofstra Athletics Hall of Famer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our final inductee tonight, Tom Ryan, has had, for full disclosure, full transparency, quite the travel odyssey getting here to Long Island. I'll let him fill you in on the details, but it goes something to the effect of having his flight rerouted, something about landing in Philadelphia, and having to take what essentially is a 3.5 hour taxi ride up the I-95 to be here with us tonight. So in addition to giving a round of applause to Tom Ryan for being here, I think his cab driver deserves as equal of a round of applause for not only getting him here, but getting him in here in time to be here with us tonight. But Tom Ryan, ladies and gentlemen, was Hofstra's wrestling coach for 11 years, from 1995 to 2006, and revitalized the Pride's program during his highly successful tenure. Tom compiled a dual meet record of 109-82-2 over his 11 season and ranked second on Hofstra's all-time wins list. An 8-time Conference Coach of the Year, Tom's teams won 6 consecutive conference titles between 2001 and 2006, with 1 East Coast Wrestling Association title and 5 Colonial Athletic Association championships. The Pride also had a 47-match league unbeaten streak over those 6 seasons. Tom coached 65 NCAA qualifiers and produced 11 All-America honorees, including Hofstra Athletics Hall of Famers John Massa 3 times and Eric Schmiesing twice. He also coached Chris Weidman, Roman Flazer, Mike Pantrovich, and Chris Stretkovich twice to spots on the NCAA medal stand. As a team, Hofstra placed in the top 25 at the NCAA championships 6 times, including an 11th place showing in 2006. Tom was also a 2-time New York State Coach of the Year and led Hofstra to 2 New York State championships and 2 runner-up finishes. Since 2007, Tom has coached at Ohio State and led the Buckeyes to the 2015 National Championship and 5 NCAA runner-up finishes. Tom and his wife Lynette have 4 children: Jordan, Jake, Teague, and Mackenzie. Once again, we invite you to direct your attention to the video screens for more about Tom, including comments from Eric Schmiesing and Hofstra wrestling coach Dennis Papadatos.
Tom Ryan.
We believed in Tom. We knew that Tom was the guy that could get us there.
If he believes in me, maybe I should start believing in myself. We need your very best.
In 1994, Long Islander Tom Ryan became the 9th head coach in Hofstra history. At just 24 years old, the former All-American took a struggling program to a consistent champion.
Those of you that know Tom Ryan know that he can convince people of just about anything because he believes in what he's selling. He sold me and many others just on the belief that it could be done at Hofstra, which it hadn't been done in many, many years.
A natural leader, Ryan got his guys to buy into what their young coach was preaching. Student athletes like 126-pounder Joe Catalanato, his first ever conference champion in 1997, Eric Schmiesing, and Roman Flazer, both multi-year All-Americans, are just a few names he credits for the early successes of the Tom Ryan era.
I think he's that anchor and hope that it can be done here, and it can be done here again. And that's what we cling on to every single day, and we talk about it.
In 11 years, Ryan finished with the 2nd most wins in Hofstra history, won 6 conference titles, produced 11 All-America honorees, and an 11th place NCAA championship finish in 2006. Ryan's legacy long surpassed his time as head coach. In 2002, he was the main proponent of the Chief Ray Downey Memorial Scholarship, a fallen hero of the FDNY during 9/11, who was an avid supporter of the program that his 2 sons, Joe and Ray, were members of.
Chief Ray Downey and Tom and the Downey family, they stand for what you want people to stand for.
Then, in 2004, the Ryan family endured their own tragedy. 5-year-old son Teague passed away after an undetected heart disorder called long QT syndrome. With it, the formation of the Teague William Ryan Athletic Endowment Program Scholarship and the Teague William Ryan Endowed Wrestling Scholarship. Both continue the legacy of his son by supporting current members of the Hofstra Wrestling Program.
It's great that we have a resource or a vessel that we could do things that help the next generation of Hofstra wrestling that Teague loved. Teague came to practice, Teague came to matches, Teague was on our bus, Teague was a part of what we did.
Coaching at Ohio State the last 17 years, Ryan led his Buckeyes to the 2015 National Championship. He becomes the 11th Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame member of the wrestling program, joining 2 guys he coached, John Massa and Eric Schmiesing.
He wouldn't care or not care if he was in the Hall of Fame because that's kind of how Tom is, but it just feels right.
If anyone deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, it's him.
It's his rightful place. I'm biased, but I don't know if there's many people better than him that's come through here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our newest member of the Hofstra Athletics Hall of Fame, Tom Ryan.
When
Son of a gun. I definitely, schmeezing and Papadatos definitely lost my touch. I couldn't even convince the guy that closed the airplane door on us to reopen it. And I couldn't convince the Uber driver to take us this far. He said it's too far. I've never heard an Uber driver say it's too far. It was $325. Take us from Philadelphia. So I'm sorry I missed my fellow inductees share their journeys. You're all special. I was reading your bios and kind of stacking them up against mine physically, and I think the only one I might be able to handle in a match right now is Vinnie. Where's Vinnie? It's just so Vinnie. I think I'd be in big trouble. I might go sideways fast. Just for you. So congrats to all of you. Willie, we could have used you at heavyweight. Where's Willie? Man, we could use you at heavyweight a little bit. And of course, Donnie Hominick. Donnie married. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear what she was sharing, but married a former student athlete of ours here at Hofstra named Matt Hominick. And where are the Jensens and the Hominicks? Good to see you. Matt was a great man. Great man. My family's right here in the middle, too. I got a lot of family here in the middle. My sister, my two sisters, nephews, nieces. So I know, Donnie, I'm sure Dad's smiling down on you. You're a rock star in that family. It was a special family. So big thanks to Jessica and Brian and all those who worked so hard to make this event happen. I'm glad I was able to simplify things for you and not add any stress. So this was an intense last 18 hours. I'll just share 18 hours. So last night I'm in the dorm. We have a camp starting, 150 kids, and each night a coach has to stay in the dorms. So I'm sleeping in the dorms. At midnight, my phone buzzes. Who do you think it is? It's Delta Airlines at midnight. I'm never up at midnight, but I hear it vibrating. So that was the first text. At midnight, they canceled our flight. I called them, and they said there's a big delay. It'll be an hour and a half wait time. So I turn the volume up as high as I can. I put it next to my ear. Well, they finally pick up, and the guy wakes me up. Are you there? Are you there? I said, yeah. We need a new flight. I got to get to New York. So we booked another flight at 5. So we're good. My wife and I, we're good. We're going to make it, no problem. 5 a.m., the phone vibrates again. It's Delta. We're canceling that flight. Yes, 2 canceled flights. So then it's like the heck with Delta. We're going Southwest Airlines, all reliable, Southwest. And they've dropped if you've been on a South, they're off their game a little bit too lately. I can't recommend any airline right now. So we get the flight. We're going to be here at 2, no problem. And we're in the air, and the chief comes on. And he says, hey, listen, we got a problem. There's storms, and we can't get there. We got to land in Philly. So we land in Philly. And then, let's see, what else happens? So we get to Philly, so we take a train. So they tell us you can get off the plane for a second and see what the best plan is going to be for you to get to where you got to get to. So we get off the plane. We find out the best plan is to go back on the plane. They won't let us on the plane. I couldn't talk them into it. So we ordered an Uber. We're going to get an Uber driver here. Well, the Uber driver said, I'll be there in 3 minutes. And then 3 minutes came, and he said, hey, it's too far. I don't want to do that. So we canceled him. So we ended up with a taxi driver. His name was Mercy. And he's the man. And we gave him a $100 tip. Mercy's the man. He made it happen. Actually, he was the second taxi driver that came. The first one we got in, we started driving, there was no air conditioning. And Lynn's looking beautiful, so we had to, we can't drive 2.5 hours without any air conditioning, right, Masa? No way. So we're really spoiled now. We're really spoiled. So this night is extremely emotional for both Lynn and I. It's hard to believe that almost 18 years have passed since our time here. 18 years. Our kids, Lynn and I, our kids are now full grown. They're all married. Our family has increased in the last 2 years by 2. We have 2 grandchildren, which is wild. And Lynn and I are approaching 30 years of marriage. I have a lot more gray than I had in those photos. I wear glasses now. I don't move quite as fast as I used to, but I am pretty sure I can still whip Dennis Papadatos. You know, Dennis was an early believer. They mentioned that in the film, who are early believers, and a lot of them are sitting at this table over here somewhere. I see Flazar, Noto, and I know Mike's wife's, I think mother was ill, Mike Patridge, but these guys were special. They were special. I see Coach Gallo there too. He had Hofstra rolling too, our only national champion, Nick Gallo. But these guys were early believers, man, and I'm really blessed. Dennis was one of them. Dennis was a lock haven. He was extremely annoying. He wouldn't stop calling me. He kept calling me and calling me. I'm going to be there. I'm going to help that team. I'm like, this guy must be committed. And he was. He was all in. Great student athlete, finished his master's by the time he was out of school. And really, he helped us win our first title, our first conference title. He was a leader. Again, as were these guys here. They mentioned them already, but I think Schmiesing's here. Eric Schmiesing, tremendous leader. But I call them my first believers. He was one of them. Roman Flazar, and then Massa came, and De Bruin, and Ansbach, and then we got things going. And it was a lot of fun. So many men followed, so many good men followed. And life is good. Life's really good. Much of how we are and where we are today is due to the opportunity that we were given and the support we received by so many here from 95 to 2006. We're doing really well, and this place is one of the main reasons why. We're really, really blessed. So many pitched in. I see Scott Arnell is here and Steve Mean, but Scott offered his house to help us attract a great assistant coach. He made things happen. Our memories at Hofstra are seared on our hearts, and they run far deeper than wins and losses. We love this place. I mean, we love this place. Lynn loves this place, and I love this place. It's special. It's so special to us. We love this place. We love the student athletes that we coached. You know, these men sitting here, without their incredible effort, right? People like me don't have opportunities to coach where I'm coaching. It was their work. It was their work, and we're just so grateful for them. You know, and I'll tell you what, leaving for Columbus, Ohio, you know, even the great opportunity they offered, it wasn't an easy decision. Things were good here. We were happy here. We love this place. I'm from this place. You know, and tonight we just want to share our gratitude. You know, not only for this honor, and it's a great honor, but for the deep love we experienced during our 11 years here. I mean, deep love. You know, we put our hearts into the pride. And I was hoping that some way, someday, we would get to say thank you publicly, because it means a lot to get to thank all those that lifted us along this journey. It means a lot to us. And you know, we just kind of left. It happened fast, and we just kind of left, and time has passed. And it's just a really good feeling. And I see a lot of coaches up here, wrestling coaches are here. It's just a really good feeling to be able to say thank you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I was really young. I didn't know anything about coaching. I knew about wrestling. I just graduated from college. I knew about wrestling. I didn't really know about leading others. And you know, leading yourself is where leadership starts. And I really wasn't quite ready to do that yet, but they hired me. They gave me a chance. And I was fortunate to work alongside so many great coaches here. So many men poured into our team. You know, I get to stand here and share with so many. Gave so much. Guy Tricchio, I saw a guy is here with his wife, and you know, thanks for the behind-the-scenes work. You know, you did in '95. You know, I know you believe that I was the right guy for the job, and I appreciate what you did. And Harry Royal hired me, and the other members of the hiring committee, thank you for believing in me and continually giving us more scholarship support. You know, when I got here in '95, we had 3 scholarships. And you know, we were moving from Hills, Iowa. Lynn and I were living in Hills, Iowa, where town and country meet, 500 people in the middle of nowhere. We were starting a family. I was waiting on tables and trying to make a world team. And then Hofstra called. And it was a big decision, but it was an easy decision. And thank God we made it. And we were told we would be supported. We were told that we would get the support to create a program that Long Island could be proud of, and one that competed nationally. And every single administrator up the ladder, they lived up to what they told us they would do. And we're grateful for that. They kept their word. And I don't know if is Cindy Lewis here? Is Cindy here? Where's Cindy, man? This lady's a rock star. Where's Cindy, man? Cindy. You know, she got behind us. She's been here for so long and helped so many student athletes, and J.R. Tinney and Stephen Gorchev. Jim Sheehan was our SID. You know, there's so many people that go unrecognized that make this thing happen. Trainers are there before us. They leave after us. There's just so many people that made it work here, and I want to thank current Vice President and AD Rick Cole Jr. for his current support of Coach Dennis Papadatos in the program here. This program means a lot to a lot of people. I mean, it's certainly part of my soul, and this wrestling program is extremely important to Long Island and the sport in general. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's give it up, man, for this continued support. You know, he called me personally to congratulate me. I thought that was really cool. And if there are any Pride Club members here, thank you for your commitment, your belief in the powerful changes that being a student athlete in sports can make. So are there any Pride Club members here? Just raise your hand. Thank you so much for what you guys do. I know you were critically important to me and our program when I was here, so thank you. So it is here that I was given an opportunity as a 24-year-old man to pursue my passion, while Lynn and I could grow and provide for our family, right? Look, we talk a lot about the wins and the things, but man, we raised a family. We raised a family. You know, he gave me the opportunity to do what I loved. And what a gift to pursue life where work and play are blended, where there is no difference between work and play. You know, you drive down the highway, I'm driving down the highway in the LIE, and I got this big smile on my face coming from Hauppauge, and I look in the car to my right and the car to my left. Mopey faces. No mopey face. I couldn't wait to get there. What a gift. What a gift. And you know, I grew up 5.5 miles from here in Wantagh, New York. Again, my family is sitting right here, many of them. You know, Wantagh was home to me. I got a couple of former high school teammates of mine, Brian Hooker and John Adwar. Been friends since 2nd, 3rd grade, wrestling guys. This is my home. And the Hofstra opportunity for me was a dream come true. It was a dream come true to coach here. It's also during our time here, it was mentioned in the video, that my family suffered so deeply. We experienced so much good, but Hofstra is also the place where such suffering happened for us. It was a sudden passing of Teague, our 5-year-old son. He spent 8 of his last 10 hours on earth playing with his siblings and family friends in the Hofstra wrestling room. The Arnell boys are down there. They were in the room with him. They were playing. 8 of the last 10 hours. Our lives were completely destroyed. February 16th, 2004, we struggled as a couple. We were struggling. And we struggled as a family. We learned in this darkness that true friends celebrate your great moments, and they sit with you in the painful moments, in the painful times. It is here during this painful time when we felt the intense support of this community and those friendships. Overwhelming love we felt. The Long Island people, wrestling people, non-wrestling people, we felt it. My wife didn't have to cook for months. Food was delivered to our house. We were struggling. We were in pain. And what an honor it was years later to have the facility named after Teague and one of the true heroes of 9/11 they mentioned earlier, Deputy Chief Raymond Downey, Sr. We were overwhelmed with love here, not only when we were winning, but when we were hurting. There are so many people who cared for us here. I see the Garay family is here. Mr. Garay was a great friend. His sons were superstars here. He was in the Pride Club. He helped me, gave me advice through so many people. Tony Arena couldn't be here tonight, and Mike, but Tony was a former coach here as well and a successful businessman. And everyone just helped. They pitched in. They helped. And I'm so blessed for it. There are so many people who cared for us here. You see, life is hard, and going it alone doesn't work quite as well. And family goes far deeper than blood. I have lots of blood relatives here. But we have an extended family here. The Hofstra family is real to us. And life was good, and there's nothing we wouldn't have done to get here tonight, to be a part of this, if we could have helped it. So tonight is a sharp reminder of the single most valuable ingredient in living a sustained, meaningful life. And there's lots of things that motivational speakers will talk about. You know, work ethic and character, and all these things are important. But man, the ingredient, the number one ingredient that is needed are people. People, the right people, kind people, hardworking people, tough and tender people, passionate people, loving people, honest people, humble people, committed people. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The kind of people that were surrounded in our program during my years here. These are the people that surround our program. The Ryans are better for having been part of the Hofstra family and the Long Island community. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be named one of the head coaches here. My family is forever indebted. God bless. Go Pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear once again for Tom Ryan. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, if we can please invite our Hall of Fame Class of 2023 inductees to the stage for a group photo.
What's up?
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the silent auction and raffle is now closed. Please see Jessica Kalbfleisch as you leave to pay for and collect your items.